Okay, so since I won't be here today, I want to make sure, as promised, I give you these videos to help you with your review. So let's get going here. So yesterday we did not do number 2, so I just wanted to make sure I went through number 2 with you. Now notice we have right here a cosine of a sum. So again, you could go to your cheat sheet, but you should know that's going to be the cosine times the other cosine minus the sine times the other sine. Cosine, cosine minus sine, sine, right? And what is the cosine of 180 degrees? Well, that just so happens to be -1. So that's times in cosine theta. Minus, what about the sine of 180 degrees? Well, that happens to be 0. And of course, 0 will cancel out the sine. So all I have left is negative cosine theta, which of course matches what we're trying to prove. Okay, next one. This time we have a cosine of a difference. Well, that means we take the cosine times the other cosine plus the sine times the other sine. So cosine, cosine plus sine, sine is how we do the cosine of a difference. Now, what is the cosine of 90? It's 0. So we have cosine theta times 0 plus sine theta here times, well, what's the sine of 90? 1. So as you can see, the 0 will cancel out cosine, and all I'm left with is 1 times sine theta, which of course is just sine theta. Okay, next one. Now we have the sine of -15 degrees. So if we were to do a quick sketch, -15 degrees means we rotate 15 degrees clockwise. And so we're in quadrant 4 here. Well, hopefully you'll remember that sine is our y coordinate. Okay, so because sine is our y coordinate, well, that means in quadrant 4, we should know, in other words, we'll be going in a downward direction to get there. For y, that means we know that this is going to be a negative of sine of +15. So that's our strategy. We're going to do sine of 15, ignore the negative to begin with, but we have to understand that negative will kick in at the end. So how do we do the sine of 15 degrees? Well, isn't that going to be the sine of 45 minus 30? Or you could have said 60 minus 45. So what is the sine of a difference? Well, that's going to be the sine times the cosine of the other angle. This is sine, so it's going to be minus cosine of the first angle times the sine of the second angle. Hopefully my work is legible there. But the sine of 45 is, of course, square root 2 over 2. The cosine of 30 is square root 3 over 2. And again, you're going to do this either with the unit circle or, as I've shown you many times, crunching it out on the calculator. We have a minus here. Now the cosine of 45 is square root 2 over 2. And the sine of 30 is 1/2. So timesing these together, I get square root 6 over 4. Timesing these together, I get square root 2 over 4. And we have a minus in the middle, of course. So this is the square root of 6 minus square root 2 over 4. But let's not forget this negative over here. So it's the negative of square root 6 minus square root 2 over 4. If we distribute this negative, we will get, or square root 2 minus square root 6 over 4. because the negative, or square root 6 will become negative. The square root 2 become positive when I distribute this negative, right? And so hopefully that one makes sense to you. I'm just going to pause the video here shortly. You actually should do the same before I move on to the last problem. Okay, so here we have the tangent theta of 12 over 5. We're told we're in quadrant 1, 0 to 90 degrees. So when I do my sketch, I hope you agree theta is going to be in quadrant 1 like so. And the tangent is 12 over 5. Now remember, tangent's always the opposite over the adjacent to my angle theta. And this is the infamous 5, 12, 13 triangle. So we didn't have to do Pythagorean theorem to figure that one out. We should all know the 5, 12, 13 triangle. Okay, so now that we know all the sides, 5 will be positive because we're going right. 12 will be positive because we're going up. 13 will always be positive because it's the hypotenuse, which is a distance. So now that we have that set up, we should notice that they want us to do tangent of 2 theta. We actually didn't need to do the sketch this time, right? Because we already know tangent theta. So what is the tangent 2 theta? It is 2 times the tangent of our theta, right, over 1 minus tangent squared of our theta. So we're going to get 2 times 12 over 5 over 1 minus 12 over 5 squared. That equals 24 over 5. And this is going to be, well, we're going to get 1 minus 144 over 25. So we'll just do 25 over 25 for 1. And, oh my gosh, what do we get? So we got 24 over 5 divided by, what is 25 minus 144? I believe that's negative 119 over 25. Just doing quick mental math. If I take 119 plus 25, that's 130, yeah, 144, right? So now I could take 24 over 5 times the reciprocal of this. And I'm going to do a little cross canceling here. 5 divides into 25 5 times. So hopefully you agree that 5 times this 24 is 120. We'll throw the negative in there from here over 119. So guys, I hope if you study and you paid attention, this video will help you. We do have our next big quiz, call it a makeup quiz, sometime next week. Okay, but I'm going to make one more video to hopefully help you guys out. This again is my first of 2 videos for our Trig Unit 2 review.